Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and it's Premier League, and it's week 32, and that means that 31 times I've been absolutely battered over the head by the Premier League. We've got Matt and Martin. They're still soldiering on. In fact, Martin, he had a little bit of a tickle last week. He had a winning weekend. Even if I had a 0.05 profit, I'd be over the moon, which is exactly where I was prior to my parlay first leg. West Brom over 2.5 goals, 3-0. Jog on, let's go. Brighton, both teams to score. 0-0. Okay, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that you'd have been notified that we'd have had Serie A earlier, Bundesliga, now Premier League, La Liga tomorrow. But then there's 3 shows on Monday of Serie A, Bundesliga, and not the Premier League. We're going to go Serie A, Bundesliga, and La Liga. So you'll see plenty more of Martin. And then we're back to normal next Thursday and Friday. And the week after, wow, it's the Champions League semi-finals. Martin, didn't get any easier at the weekend, and you managed to find some winners.
Yeah, glad to be back in profit. I think I maybe made a slight profit in La Liga as well, which is what we like to see. Hopefully we've got a good few weeks ahead of us. The final few weeks of the season are no good because loads of teams lack motivation. Some have got nothing left to play for. But we've got a sweet spot for a few weeks now where hopefully we can rack up a bit of profit. I like the look of quite a few of the fixtures coming up this weekend. And I've been really enjoying the midweek Champions League and Europa League action so far. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, you and me both absolutely adoring yesterday on Champions League. I've been going 5-1 yesterday, which was needed. Matt, Premier League for you and I, we have definitely could do better, the school teacher would say at the bottom of the report.
Yeah, it's been a wacky year. Just results sometimes haven't gone our way, and that's the way that this lifestyle kind of goes. But
especially in Premier League.
Yeah. I mean, I was cashing the Champions League midweek live show was great. 4-1 for me. So we're having success other ways, but the Premier League has been difficult to say the least. But yeah, I think that I really like this card here, and I'm happy to break it down with you guys as always.
I think the whole thing, if you wanted to say how hard the Premier League has been, it's Liverpool winning the league by 20 points, and now they're struggling to get in the top 4. I think Sheff Utd winning most of their home game and getting their points, and now bottom of the league, rooted and gone. So, okay, let's crack straight on. We've got a Friday night game, which is a strange one. And I will be including some of the games early part of next week, and we'll do that today. So you will see Spurs at the back end of this show as well. And it's Everton plus 230, Martin, draw plus 245, and Spurs at plus 125.
Yeah, really interesting game to start things off. Friday night game. I think it's going to be an interesting personal duel between Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Harry Kane. Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin missed last game for Everton, and they really missed that focal point up front, only limped to another 0-0 draw. But if he's back in business, I think they can get on the score sheet in this one. But it's up to Harry Kane to prove that he's the main man for England, justify his starting berth in the team there, and I think he can get on the score sheet. So the way I'm looking at it is Harry Kane to score. I've got plus 125 on that. But yeah, I'm expecting pretty open game. Could see both teams scoring in this one.
Can see Spurs winning. I know that, especially after Everton last week limped. Last few games at home limped. Matt, you think Spurs are value at plus 125?
Not for me, really. I think I would take the biggest price here. The draw, I can't trust Spurs for the life of me. They've given away too many points from leading positions this season. I believe it's like 18 points that they've given away when leading matches. And I've had some success off air betting against Spurs when they take the lead. For example, in the last week, United go down 1-0. I took a piece of that, and it ended up being really nice. It's one of those things. It's been ever since the beginning. Spurs against Crystal Palace, match day, 7 or 8. They go up 1-0, and they're playing defensive like they're playing like a Palace would, and sitting back and inviting pressure. And it's not for me here. I can see Spurs taking a 1-0 lead and giving it away here. Looks like a 1-1 to me. Easy pass, but I would go with the biggest price if I had to.
Yeah, and I suppose if you're getting Kane anytime goal scorer at plus 125, forget the result, forget the amount of goals, and just go with Kane. It brings you penalties, free kicks. Yeah, I think Kane is probably the way to go. But Spurs are definitely going to have to go for the 3 points. So that bet is going to be live right up to the 93rd minute, Martin. Wow, this could be either a trap, and as I always say, if it's not a trap, it's an absolute gift. Matt, Newcastle plus 300, draw plus 250, West Ham plus 105. West Ham, surprise of the season, they show no signs of slowing down.
No, they've been phenomenal all season. Last week, I had both teams to score in West Ham, Leicester. I believe Martin did too. But I that was my banker. That was the one thing that I could say about last week that I did well. I hit my best bet, and I'm going right back to it here as well. I think that both teams score. Newcastle is just different when they have the likes of St. Maximum back, Callum Wilson. I mean, it's just a different animal. I talked about it. It really stinks that they've been injured for so long, because I've had success when those players are in and backing overs here. I believe that they're going to find the back of the net. I think that West Ham should have enough to get the job done here. It feels like a 2-1. I think that over 2.5 looks okay. I think that West Ham win and both teams to score, but I'm banking it as well this week. I'm just going right back to it. Both teams score here. Minus 135 is the price that I got, and I like it.
Okay, what about maybe West Ham to win and both teams to score if you really want to bump it up? And obviously we've got Derek, we've got Sean, we've got Carlos. I mean, yeah, again, West Ham just keep rolling, Martin.
West Ham do keep rolling. They had a fantastic first half to the season, and their campaign could have petered out. It often happens, but they signed Jesse Lingard in January, and I think that gave the side a real boost. He created extra competition for places, kind of made people feel like they were a really good team, and yeah, brought more out of his teammates. He's been the driving force for them in recent weeks. They were absolutely terrific last time out, tore the opposition apart. It's just a really, really attractive set of odds on West Ham. I'm a little bit hesitant because, like Matt said, Newcastle looked a lot better when Alan Saint-Maximin and Callum Wilson came off the bench in the last game, particularly Saint-Maximin. What a player he is. But still, I think West Ham can still go on and win this one. They could concede because Saint-Maximin's a quality player, but I think they should have enough going forward to score twice in this one, and I can see them winning it. So I've gone for the away win.
Where are you going for, mate?
Gone for the away win. I think
Lamia minus 105. It looks very appealing, but they know that Newcastle can upset a coupon or two. Now, this game here, low-hanging fruit. Remember we said we went with Arsenal last week, -1. Eventually, we go with Wolves -1. It's Wolves minus 150. Draw plus 245. Sheffield United plus 570. Martin, Wolves against Sheffield United, it's got to be a minimum 2-0.
I agree. Yeah, Sheffield United just look like they've thrown in the towel. They didn't play like the Sheffield United that we've grown accustomed to against Arsenal. You know, Arsenal struggle if you really take the fight to them, and they didn't show that. They weren't battling for every ball. They weren't pressing. They looked like they were just killing time until they get relegated, really. Chris Wilder's gone, and I think they've lost that impetus now. I can see them perhaps losing all of their remaining games this season, the way they're playing. Wolves have been a bit inconsistent, but this is a really good opportunity for them to pick up another win, start climbing the table. They've got very good players in attack. You know, when Traore's on song, very similar to Saint-Maximin, just powerful, quick, pace. Yeah, you know, he's got everything, really. So I can see them winning this one reasonably comfortably. I would normally go for unders when I see these two teams play, but I've had to go for Wolves to win and over 1.5 goals, just based on what I saw from Sheffield United last time out.
Both teams to score, no, Matt?
It would have to be for me. I agree with everything that Martin's really saying. Just a couple players, for example, like Neto, he won't be here anymore for the rest of the season. That's a big miss. But it just really shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter against Sheffield. They have packed their bags and they're headed to the championship and they're just ready to go down. And I think that this is a gift. I think this is low-hanging fruit complicate it like I will or like Martin will probably, or like he did with the over 1.5, and I'm going for the under 3.5. But I mean, Wolves straight win should probably be combined in a parlay. I wouldn't even be scared about just taking it straight. Wolves get the job done here.
Yeah, I think so too. What about this game though? Matt, I want to come to you first, so that it gives Martin a little bit of a run up at it. It's Arsenal at -155, draw +275, Fulham +425. Now, we know we get an Arsenal that absolutely rip Spurs apart. Then they put a mediocre performance in against Liverpool. In fact, it was below mediocre. Then they go and beat low-hanging fruit Sheffield United. What one turns up against Fulham?
It's hard to say. I mean, right now what they're doing against Slavia Prague is phenomenal, and it makes me want to bust your balls a little bit, Flash, and get off of my Fulham double chance. Because if Arsenal turn up like this, that bet is toast. But it's, you know what it was for me? It was a Europa League thing. That's the reason I pulled the trigger. I think that Arsenal are all in on the Europa League. That is all that they care about, in my opinion, for the rest of the season. Yes, they want to focus on bettering some of their younger players and getting into form, but it's about getting into form for the Europa League. I mean, that is their Super Bowl. So for me here, that's why I think that just they might take their eye off of this one a bit. Fulham they're looking at this and they have to take it. I mean, this is Fulham's Super Bowl right here. So I think that it's going to be tight and cagey, and they'll try to muck up the game a little bit. But I've gone with Fulham double chance at a plus price of +115.
I think you have to. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Arsenal are own you cannot trust. Fulham fighting for their life. Great athletes will match up. You're going to go with Arsenal, Martin, but I mean, surely the value is to actually take Fulham in the draw.
Everyone said all of these things to me on earlier in the week when we were breaking down Arsenal v Slavia Prague. Everyone was like, you can't bet on Arsenal. They're terrible. Slavia Prague are going to beat them easily.
Who said that?
Alex.
Yeah, I think I saw the clip.
They were like, smell the coffee, Martin. Arsenal are going to lose.
No.
Lo and behold, we're taking Slavia Prague to the cleaners. And I think they can do a similar job on Fulham. Why not? Fulham are in the relegation zone. Fulham have lost 5 games in a row. Fulham are terrible. Arsenal absolutely battered Fulham when we played them earlier in the season. Yeah. I'm not having it. It's 2 weeks till the Europa League semi-finals, and players still need to show that they're worthy of a place in the starting 11. There's a few youngsters that have just come back from injury. Don't see why they can't go and start against Fulham as well. He's still going to be pretty embarrassed by Arsenal's league position, and they're still going to want to take their chances to climb up the table a little bit in the remaining weeks of the season. Playing against the Fulham team that I'm starting to think they're doomed. A few weeks ago, I thought they had a great chance, but now Newcastle are picking up points. I can't see them getting out of danger now. You can't be losing 5 games in a row between March and April and expect to stay up when you're having the sort of season they are. You know, Arsenal, Aubameyang's not playing tonight. There's all sorts of players that can come into the team and start. So, yeah, I've gone for Arsenal. Arsenal and under 4.5 goals.
Under 4.5, be a cracking little game, this. I'm telling you, it will be tight for a long, long while. Next game, Man United -290, draw +400, Burnley +1,000. Burnley go to Anfield and get it done late on. Can they frustrate? Is there any value in like a draw at halftime? Man United obviously coming off of performance after performance. Martin.
Oh, I left this one alone. Actually, I've been betting on Man United quite a lot recently. I had them draw no bet against Spurs at the weekend, and yeah, they came back in emphatic fashion. I just didn't quite like this one because it was -290, and Burnley are the sort of team that I can't always work out. Sometimes they'll lose 4-0, but sometimes they'll really battle hard and they'll only lose by a goal or they'll nick a draw. So they're the kind of wild card for me in this one. Obviously, if Man United show up and play to their full potential, they should win it pretty comfortably. I just couldn't quite wrap my head around how Man United will win the game. So I'm leaving it alone. But yeah, Man United probably win it.
Matt, is it just a game you put a line through?
Sort of, but when I'm starting to think about it now, I think that maybe something that you could look towards is like no goals in the first 30 minutes. I think it'll be tight. Burnley will keep it tight for a while, and Burnley will probably lose this match. It's just a hard to find value. If I had to, I would probably go with United -1.5. But it's because they're in just too good a form right now. You can't step in front of United right now, but I've watched this match, I don't know how many times it seems like, and Burnley always keep it close for a while. No goals in the first 30 might actually be a really good look.
Okay, well, the next game, I'm firmly on this train now until the end of the season because it's Leeds +400, draw +350, Liverpool -150. I have got onto the Liverpool train. Everything they do is all about trying to get in that top four and away from home, counter-attacking football. Matt, I am on Liverpool and over 1.5 and cannot believe the price.
Yes, I think that Liverpool get the job done here. I really do. I think that this is their time. They've got a pretty easy schedule here to finish out the season. There's not a bunch of world beaters really that they have to step in front of. This will be a tough test. I think that the reason you're getting such a good price is because Leeds won against City when City really didn't have their eye on that match whatsoever. Their focus was all on Dortmund. The league's done. So that's baked into the price a little bit. I think that Liverpool win this game, but I struggle with them just converting chances. They just have struggled. That Real Madrid match summed up their entire season. In a nutshell, completely. They had chances. Salah in the 5th minute, that could have turned the tie right around, misses it. And then they just struggled. They had a bunch of half chances. It's been their season completely. I think that they turn a corner here just because there is too much quality in the side. But I think that they'll be on red alert after Leeds beat City last week. I just see this being tight and cagey. Under 3 goals for me is my favorite look here, but I do think that Liverpool win.
Lineup check, but if he plays, he scores. Jota for me, Martin.
Oh, yeah, Jota's a fantastic player. I think Liverpool's front three was so fantastic last season, and the fact that he's easily broken it up and he has to be a starter now, that's just testament to what an excellent player he is. Yeah, I can see him scoring plenty of goals in the remaining weeks of the season. I'm with you. I think Liverpool can pick themselves up quite quickly after that Real Madrid defeat and just channel all of their efforts into trying to secure that top 4 place now. Could have a massive bearing on their ability to make moves in the transfer market in the summer. So they're going to be really going for it. I can see them beating Leeds. I know Leeds are in pretty good form. There was a really interesting game earlier at the very, very start of the season, wasn't it? I think Liverpool won 3-2 or 4-3 or something like that. It was real amazing end-to-end stuff. Could be in for a similar sort of
opening day of the season.
Yep. Yeah, well, first or second week of the season, yeah. And then everyone realised what a just gung-ho side that Leeds are. Can't defend, but they love pouring men forward and taking risks, and they've been real entertaining to watch. And with Liverpool's inexperienced centre-back pairing, you could see Leeds getting on the score sheet. So, yeah, maybe Liverpool to win and both teams to score would look pretty appealing to me.
Okay, well, I've gone Liverpool and over 1.5, I think. Next game, so we're going to fast forward now to early part of next week because we will revert back to the FA Cup semi-finals at the end. It's Chelsea -180, draw +300, Brighton +530. I think Brighton gets something out of the game. Am I mad, Martin?
No, I didn't know we were doing these games, Flash, but, I'll rally.
Listen, you know me. I'd like to throw a little curveball in.
What prices have we got? Okay, Chelsea
-180, draw +300, Brighton +530, double chance is around +140.
Yeah, I think Chelsea will, get the job done here. What day is this being played on?
Is it Tuesday?
I think so.
Doesn't give them a great deal of time, does it, to recover from their exploits. At Wembley, they're playing a FA Cup semi-final, which, as Flash said, we're going to get onto. That's quite a tight turnaround. They're going to be chasing the ball quite a lot against Man City, you imagine. I know they've got a pretty big squad, So he can definitely shuffle his pack for this game. But I'd be waiting till closer to the time to bet on this one. I'd want to see, I feel like the FA Cup game could go to extra time. If that happens, then it could be a real fatigue issue for Chelsea. Given their form, they should win it. Brighton have been impressive in recent weeks. They've really improved. But yeah, I'd say if I guns ahead now, I'd say a low scoring Chelsea win.
Okay. Any thoughts, Matt, on Chelsea, Brighton, early part of next week?
This is a tough one. Yeah. I mean, when you talk about it, 3-day turnaround after City in the FA Cup. Oh, I would fancy Brighton, but you have to know that Chelsea, this makes me like my FA Cup bet even more coming up here soon, because Chelsea have got to have their eye on this competition. I mean, they're not in the top 4 right now. You could argue that this is a bigger match than the Manchester City match. I know that a lot of us love the FA Cup and its famous drama and history and stuff like that, but this is probably Tuchel will have more eyes on this one. And I think that Brighton will frustrate them. I think that Brighton will frustrate Chelsea. I think I would rather be on Brighton in the draw if I had to right now, and we'll just kind of see how things come next week, but it's a tough one to call.
Okay, the next game is a team who plays Friday night, a team who plays against a team who plays in the semi-final. It's Spurs -140, draw +300, and the Mighty Saints at +410. I've got Spurs winning this game comfortably, Matt.
Yes, I just don't like what I'm seeing from Southampton, and we'll touch on that here in a minute too with the FA Cup. So I don't like it. They're not. I mean, being beat like that, against West Brom it was so poor all around. They came out and West Brom were all over them from the very second. And for the first half, the match was over. You could see that the match was going to be over, even when it was still 0-0 in the 20th. So I would probably fancy Spurs here. I think that they should get the job done. Harry Kane should probably score.
I firmly believe, and we will come on to the FA Cup games in a while, but I firmly believe that Spurs, with the -1, I think they win it quite comfortably. Maybe even Spurs and under 4.5, Martin, might be the way to go.
Yeah, Spurs and under 4.5, or Spurs and perhaps Spurs and over 1.5. I haven't looked at the odds because, as I said, I didn't break these games down. But I think Spurs have to win this one comfortably. Been so unimpressed with the once mighty Saints in recent weeks. I don't think we can call them that anymore, sadly.
I'm telling you, you wait until we get to the FA Cup, because it looks like to me that they are stinking, and yet I think they will pull a performance out in the FA Cup, because I think that's where they're a little bit like, it's almost like the Europa League or Champions League for some teams. I think they've already been thinking about this semi-final for the last few weeks, because I tell you what, their concentration levels have been horrendous.
They'll get comfortably beaten by whoever they play in the final anyway, if they make it.
I know, but it's a day out, isn't it? It's a day out in front of and there will be fans, I believe. I believe there will be fans at Wembley for the final if they get there.
+100 on Tottenham to win the game and over 1.5 goals. Banker. That's banker.
I know, it looks great, doesn't it? That's why I'm saying about getting it. That's why I included it now, so that if people want to put something together, but if Saints get murdered at the weekend, then that's going to be maybe -130. So you need to be jumping on it.
If Spurs win and it goes over 1.5,
is Villa +900, draw +400, Man City -250. I just put a line through it and thought, who cares, Matt?
Agreed. I don't have any interest betting this match. If I had to, it'd be going right back to the well. Man City under 3.5 goals should get the job done here. They'll rest, rotate. Villa, decent enough defense to keep it tight. This one, City and under 3.5 goals is actually a pretty good bet here, though.
Villa will have people, though, that fancy them, though, wouldn't they? Be thinking that Man City, Champions League semi-final, just a week later, already got the Premier League wrapped up. Is Villa not at +900 the way to go here, Martin?
Well, I don't know, Flash, because if Man United do beat Burnley, it'll only be 7 points clear that they are at the top of the table. 8 points clear. And I know, I'm sure they're going to still cruise to victory, but psychologically, I think they'll still want to increase the margin of their lead at the top of the table. So, I don't know. And also, he's been playing without a recognised striker in so many big games. He's had either Bernardo Silva or De Bruyne as a false nine. So you've got Gabriel Jesus, Sergio Aguero, and now Raheem Sterling that are just sitting there warming the bench every game. If they get an opportunity to play in these Premier League games like this, I've got a feeling that they could just go and absolutely destroy a team. Aston Villa aren't the best defensively, so I'd be looking at a pretty comfortable win for Man City in this game.
Okay, well, let's move on then to the FA Cup semi-finals. The big game is Chelsea against Man City. Martin, which way do you fancy going? And do you think it's a long afternoon for both of them?
I agree, Flash. I think it's going to be a long afternoon for both of them. It's two teams that just love to dominate possession. I'll be interested to see who starts for Man City, because De Bruyne and Foden have played a lot of football recently. Mahrez limped off yesterday, so they could revert to their old way of playing a central striker with Sterling buzzing around up top. But if they play like they have been playing in big games, they beat Chelsea 3-1 earlier in the season without a striker. Bernardo Silva played as a false nine. If they play like that, they'll dominate possession, which is Chelsea's game, really. So it'll be two teams stifling one another. I think we could end up seeing a very long, turgid game if Man City play without a striker. I could see this maybe being 1-1.
I thought Chelsea were value.
Yeah.
I really did. I thought Chelsea could win the midfield battle with Jorginho and Kante sitting in there. And then his embarrassment of riches have come through. I'm thinking that Chelsea are the value in this, like Arsenal were last season.
Maybe, I don't know what the handicap line is, but if you could give them like a +1 Asian handicap or something like that, I would think that looks really good.
Or Chelsea draw no bet.
Yeah, they don't have a good record against Man City. They've lost 6 of the last 9 meetings between the clubs, but they have been so much more resilient since Tuchel took the reins, which is why I think they'll be really competitive in this game. I can see it finishing in a draw. I really can see this. I can see it being
penalties,
going to penalties. Yeah.
Wow, there's your one. Well, I love that. Both teams to win on penalties, normally around plus 1,100. Maybe in the game, because they're quite evenly matched, it might be around plus 900 or something. Matt, do you see this going all the way?
No, I don't.
Ooh.
I don't see this going all the way at all. I see that City are the better version of what Chelsea are trying to become. City will dominate the ball. Chelsea haven't played a match like that where they've been dominated really under Tuchel before. Maybe the Liverpool match was a decent one, but they haven't finished a chance since like January. So this for me, I really love this one. And I think that possibly Chelsea could have one eye on Brighton from what I was saying earlier. I think that top 4 is more important. I think that City have a real chance to win all 4 this year. So it's one of those for me. I think that City are so much better. This is banker material. City will beat Chelsea.
Chelsea plus 0.75 at -110. I'm telling you, I think that these are more evenly matched than you're saying. But listen,
no, I think it'll be close. Okay, so I want to say this though. It will be close. It probably is an unders match. It probably is an unders match, and it's probably a 1 or 2-0. I think Laporte comes back in.
Yeah, it's a great watch. It is a great watch, and if I'm not involved in it,
Stones is out. Laporte's in. Laporte, Diaz, Cancelo, and Walker. That's their best back 4, and that's what they'll play.
1,300, Matt and Mark, for either side to win on penalties. Plus 1,300. Oh, nice. Now let's get to the biggest game. Come on. It's Leicester.
What we've all been waiting
Southampton. I was going to make this my banker. I really was. I think Southampton turn up. And I've gone with the Alex Classic, Matt. I just think that Southampton definitely score. I mean, Leicester definitely score. And I wouldn't put anyone off of Southampton winning and both teams scoring.
Just not for me, Flash. Just not with Southampton's form. I think that, You know what the biggest problem is with Southampton when I look at it is no Romeo in the middle of the park. It has really, really hurt this group. He's been this front screen. They don't have a front screen. They're asking James Ward-Prowse to try and become a front screen. He's not one. And it's a real concern for me here. I think that Leicester, they're going to have some guys back and fit. This could be a decent lineup checker, but I think I'm already getting the players that I'm like really looking for here that are being. I think Maddison comes back in. So for me here, I think it's Leicester. I'm not going to trust Southampton in their form. Yes, this will be their Super Bowl, and yes, they'll turn up to the best of their abilities, but I don't think their abilities will be enough here against the Foxes.
Oh, the mighty Saints are going to be crying all over you boys. What's going on, Martin? Not Leicester.
I'm Leicester. I'm Leicester all the way. Leicester all
Come
the
on
way.
now.
Southampton have been absolutely shocking.
I know, but you know why.
No, but they've been shocking before they got to the FA Cup semi-final. They lost 9-0.
How did they get to the FA Cup semi-final?
Terrible. They lost 3-0 to West Brom at the weekend. Stop it.
I know, because they were already thinking of the FA Cup semi-final. I don't want to get. I tell you what, some of these players have never played at Wembley. They'd have been thinking, no injuries. That's why we went for West Brom at the weekend. No injuries. Want to play at Wembley. You want to
go to Wembley on the back of a comfortable victory against West Brom, not on the back of a 3-0 defeat to a team that's 19.
Some of these boys, mate, they'll just be happy to go to Wembley or to have a tour round. Now they're going to get to play.
Well, they'll have their tour, they'll get to play, and then they'll lose comfortably, comprehensively. Kelechi and Iheanacho's in fine form. They've got so many attacking talents. Brendan Rodgers obviously left out James Maddison in the last game for a breach of COVID rules. So he's not got much time left to win everyone over and get a place in that England squad in the summer. So I think he'll be up for the game if he plays. Same with Perez, who's got a point to prove now. They've just got so many attacking options. They're better in midfield. Matt mentioned the absence of Romeo, and I think Leicester are quality in central midfield. I think they'll win that battle. I think they'll win the battle down the flanks. I think they'll win every battle in this game and go through to the final. Sorry,
Sean's on the chat saying Leicester -1, bank it. Don't be banking nothing. I'm telling you now, Southampton, they're coming for you. Let's have a look at the official picks, please, Zuki, baby. Here we go. Martin's picks. Kane, anytime goal scorer, like it. West Ham +112. He always gets that little bit extra value. Wolves to win and over 1.5 at +105. Arsenal to win and under 4.5 at -105, and Leicester at -103 to beat the mighty Saints in the FA Cup. Newcastle, both teams to score is -130, and that's a banker for Matt. Wolves to win and under 3.5 at +115. Leeds under 3 goals in the game at +110. Man City -115. That is in the FA Cup against Chelsea, and that's a banker as well. Fulham +0.5 at +120, and Leicester, he's gone Leicester. You put in -110, I got you -103 there. Here we go. Wolves -1 on the Asian handicap at +125. I think they win the game. If they win by 1, it's money back. Liverpool and over 1.5 goals is -110. Brighton double chance +140. Spurs -1 on the Asian handicap. It is the game against Southampton next midweek, not against Everton. So please make sure you listen to the way that I'm describing it. And Southampton, Alex Classic +125. I really believe that it could well be a banker, and it's at +125. We need a 2-team parlay, gentlemen. Just flick one at me, please, Matt.
It's going to be Wolves. Straight win. It's a little different than what I've gone for, but we're all kind of over the board
-150.
Yeah, Wolves straight win.
Yeah, I might do Wolves. I'm just writing this down for my own personal, and if you're happy, you can go with me. Liverpool -150. Just win it. Okay. Martin?
Arsenal to beat Fulham.
And they're -155. We're going to do a treble. We're going to go Wolves. This is like a don't complicate it treble. Wolves Liverpool, and then Arsenal. And that will do us absolutely perfectly. And that will pay muchos. Anyway, listen, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, and ring the bell. You ring the bell, it means I'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. Got some new faces coming in next week. I need to rotate the squad because when we come to June, it's going to be all hands on deck. We're going to have probably 27, 28 days of rat-a-tat-tat soccer because we're going to the Euros in Europe. So there will be some new faces. These boys will be rested, not dropped, even though Martin is only one yellow card away from a suspension. Also, if you press the link in the description.
You just said a weekend. You didn't even show
No, you get a yellow. No, that's what I mean. That's why, because there's big games coming up. I'm going to play on Monday. I can't afford you getting another yellow and then getting a suspension. But also, if you like, press the link in the description. That'll take you over to the SBR odds. By the way, it's very important you go over there because there's like 15 books and there's prices on absolutely everything. And then you want to be making sure you get the best price. So that puts you in front before you even start. Also, Martin, Tan, Alex, they've wrote articles for you on the soccer. But every video we cover on SBR is over there. And listen, some of the sports we don't cover on SBR, there's articles over there. Meat on the bone, parlays, knowledge. Martin, Matt, have a great weekend, gentlemen. Up the Saints. Saints going to Wembley. Let's hope they're going to Wembley twice in the next month and a half. Listen, thanks to everyone in the chat. Please press your thumbs up. On the way out, 53 of you watching, 18. Wow, just over 34%. So I'll speak to you all soon. Take care, and we appreciate everything you do.